up in the morning cause life's a dream. First thing I need is my Dermanine. First thing I need is my Dermanine. Okay. Can't leave the house without my little treat. Dance a little jig before I hit the streets. Throw on my fit and I cannot lose. Saffron oil and I feel brand new. Saffron oil and I feel brand new. Conquer the world cause I'm beautiful. I do no wrong cause I'm beautiful. And life is a song cause it's beautiful. And I'm dancing along cause I'm beautiful, yeah. Dominique's just the best in nature.
Hello and welcome to the 9th Annual Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival, MISAFF, presented by the Canadian Community Arts Initiative, CCAI. My name is Asif Khan and I'm the festival director. I'd like to thank the Canadian Heritage, Canada Council for the Arts, Province of Ontario, City of Mississauga, Culture Division of Mississauga, Telefilm Canada, the Ontario Arts Council, ACTRA Toronto, Karai Boys, and the Toronto International Film Festival for their amazing and wonderful support. I'm really delighted today to have the filmmaker from the film Rani Rani Rani, director Rajaram Rajendran, who's also the writer, director, and producer of Rani Rani Rani. Welcome.
Hey, Ashad. Thank you. Nice to be
With
here.
us is also Jolsna Paniker, the editor of Rani Rani Rani. Hello, Jolsna.
Hi, Ashad. Lovely to be here.
And my friend Danny Sura, who is also an actor living in Mumbai. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I would love to say that I'm happy to be here, but no, I'm only joking. Thank you, Ashad, for having us.
And Alex O'Neill, who is also an actor in the film and joining us from South Africa, is it?
That's right. I'm in Cape Town right now. Thank you very much, Arshad. It's my pleasure to be here, and congratulations for your 9th year of MISAFF.
Thank you so much. We are so delighted to be able to have you speak about your incredible sci-fi, very original, and I would say groundbreaking film, and really nice to have you all here. It's too bad you can't be here with us in Mississauga, because usually you would see and feel the Mississauga hospitality. We would take you to Karai Boys, which is a authentic Pakistani cuisine in Mississauga, and our filmmakers just love the food there. And also you would meet all the awesome filmmakers in Canada, and you would meet all our film professionals. But it's good to have you here because believe it or not, this gets a very big reach, and we get to reach people all over the world with our videos. So thank you for taking the time out of your day and joining us.
You're welcome.
So I want to know, first of all, from Ranjan Rao, how did you come up with this script? I want to know what's the kernel, and this is your first feature. So tell us, usually when, as a filmmaker, I know when you make your first feature, you want to make something that's, you often don't take a safe approach. You go with a drama or something like that, but you go for sci-fi. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you decide to write the script? Where the idea came from, and what made you want to make this film?
This was the safe approach. We could kind of like a time loop was the way to go. I mean, I'm into sci-fi. I like time travel. It was a safe film to make because we knew we didn't have like a lot of days, or we didn't really have a big budget. So this kind of seemed like what we can finish. Like start and finish. We actually shot the film in 10 days. We knew that going in that we had about 10 days to finish the film. So this seemed like a perfect story to make, to be honest. I mean, obviously you write I've been making commercials for about 10 years, so you do write random stuff and like different stories and keep it and whatever. And we thought we'll make one film, and then we thought, okay, this seems like something we can actually finish and like a finished film. It's actually possible to do this, and we went with it. And these guys liked it and jumped on board and kind of went from there.
Who was the first actor that you cast for your film? I know Tanishta Chatterjee is in your film as well.
No, it was Tanishta. So,
and how did you get financing for your project? I mean, as a first film?
By making commercials. I think we worked non-stop for a couple of years before, to be able to do it. Because I mean, it really sci-fi time travel is not really a popular genre here, So I didn't really want to go look around pitching and looking for funding, and I mean, there are no songs in it. There's a fight. There are no songs, so it didn't really seem like fundable material, by an external producer. So we funded it.
Well, because of thanks to VOD platforms as well now, Indians are actually consuming very different kind of cinema and stories, and they are not interested in the song and dance as much anymore as they used to be once. And Bollywood seems to have lost its kind of grip and stronghold on storytelling. So I think you have a lot going on for you, because you are telling a unique story, and you're telling an innovative story, and a sci-fi in a country which is not really doing that much sci-fi. I mean, even though the sci-fi tradition has a long history in India, right? I believe Ritik Ghatak made, that Ajantrik was one of the first.
Yeah, we've had a few.
That Knight Rider was, we have had a lot of history. So I think it's wonderful that you're making films that actually where the story is unique and different, and you're experimenting. Tell us a little bit more about, because we have all your incredible, some of your cast and crew. Tell us about how you chose them.
The first thing, I mean, the Rani's character is kind of, what leads the film. She's pretty much in all scenes, really. Camera follows that one particular character. I wanted it to be somebody who'll be interested in something like this one, and so Tanishta is actually the first actor I spoke to. Called her up one day, met her in Mumbai, told her the story. She got it immediately, and we just kind of went back and forth. It wasn't really a script reading as such, and I just told her this happens. She's like, oh, okay, and then that happens. Okay, so there's a time loop and this and that, and we just kind of talked about it, and she was on board immediately. She's like, yeah, I'd love to do it. And Danny had done. We had worked on a commercial before. He had come down to Bangalore, and we did a commercial for a motorbike, I think. And yeah, and so I called him up and said, hey man, I'm doing this, and we met in Mumbai, I think. And with Alex,
and the camera loves him. Yeah, the camera loves Danny. Like, he looks incredible in every shot. He's like he's posing, but he's not. He's so comfortable.
Alex O'Neill, I have to double up my game. You know what I mean? That's the competition. So that's why.
Actually,
with Alex, I think
Danny, we decided even before we spoke to Tanishta, we knew Danny would be in, because we worked with him.
Yeah, I think so. We worked before. Yeah.
But we spoke to him after Tanishta agreed to do the film.
Yeah, but I wanted some, to know that there's a possibility of this thing happening before I spoke to anybody else. And then, Asif came on board, and Alex, I think we just spoke on the phone, right? I told you this is this, and yes.
Holland, and I think we talked on the phone, and as you were saying before, you didn't know that Danny and I knew each other, let alone actually that I was staying with Danny.
So
it was a huge surprise. Of the two actors he could have cast in a country of billions of people, he cast two guys that are actually staying together
in Mumbai. So
I realized that for the first time when we got together on a video call, and we were both in the same room.
Yeah, Danny's like, yeah, Alex is going to be coming anytime. So I'm like, wait, what? And we kind of read it together. Like pretty much all the parts.
That's the serendipity of filmmaking, isn't it? Like, the stars have to align.
What are the chances?
And good luck happens. Yeah, so now tell us, Jyotsna, how you were involved with the project. How did you get on board? It's a beautiful editing job. But
thank you so much. I think I was the first one to hear the story. I'm married to Rajaram. So,
Oh, I mentioned that actually.
Okay, full disclosure. Are you sitting in like separate rooms in the same house?
Yes.
Yeah, we live like that. That's
hilarious. Okay, Okay, so there's like these doubles happening. You know, the Danny and Alex live together, and you
Not in
and
the same way.
no, not in the same way. Obviously not roommates,
Oh.
but
Mhm.
I'm not assuming anything, obviously. And it's so cute. I love it. So please go.
Yeah, so I happened to hear the story for the first. He narrated to me the first initially, and I was fortunate enough to be involved in the whole thing from the very beginning, which helped me in the editing process as well. So yeah, and the one thing we made sure was that at the location we ended up editing all the complicated scenes at the location itself. So we came back with a sort of rough edit of the entire film. So yeah, uh, that's how it
Well, a
happened.
complex film like this, you have to. I think that's very smart that you were just doing that, putting it together on location and all that. Now, how did you manage the 10-day shoot? I mean, that's kind of insane. And if and how did you do the work with the weather? And where did you shoot this?
This was an abandoned factory in northern Karnataka. It was a strange place. You know, the whole place is owned by one person. And it's about like I think 400 acres or something like that. It's pretty much a large part of the town that they own, and private roads inside, and and weather was like it was raining on and off, and it's already like a non-linear story that we are shooting sporadically, and then it would rain and we'll move to like a scene, inside, and then it'll stop raining, then we'll move back out, and it was the whole thing was live sound. But I mean, I have to give it to the actors. They knew their lines, the scenes so well that we could do that. Actually, we could move. Okay, we're gonna do this. Go, just do this scene for a while, and then when rain stops, we'll move back out. And I mean, it worked. It worked because everybody like knew the story and the script so well. These guys.
Well, we practice the dialogues all the time because we've got like a major scene. So the amount of times you rehearse that scene, Alex, and stuff, and all the other subsequent scenes as well, we just kept on like day in, day out, just going through just to make sure that we're clued up on the lines, because we knew that time would be a factor in the shoot. So just to come prepared.
Oh, we had all kinds of problems. The film was live sound. There was these random sounds that come up from somewhere, and we had to like, and the scene with you guys, we shot like 7 times in a row, like back to back.
All one single take of the entire conversation.
Just like one take each.
So honestly, editing your conversation scenes was like so easy because you did it.
I know we never spoke after that. You guys are so consistent. Like a different take.
Cutting between takes was.
Alex looks right. Danny looks left. It's perfect. It was perfect cutting that scene.
Yeah, the direction of turn, everything was so consistent throughout the takes. It was brilliant.
But that's good to hear, because this is the kind of film, Arshad, that can be either an editor and a director and actor's nightmare, because one continuity error and everything is screwed up. If when you see the film, obviously, if Tanishta's not wearing the necklace and the ring, then it just isn't going to work. So that obviously goes to this amazing team for having thought through so intricately how everything has to be done. There's a saying in filmmaking that if you have all the money in the world, you can afford to be unprepared. But this is a film where the preparation was key. So I think that Josna and Rajaram already had the film kind of edited in their minds, and we were creating that in a way that was so well planned out. But also there was no room for error. So if we had rain when we couldn't afford to have rain, that would have been a nightmare. If we had flight delays, Danny and I that were traveling from Mumbai, then that would have been a nightmare. But everything, as you pointed out, really came together to make this film, and for me, that's part of what makes it so special.
The thing is, when you cast professionals, especially people who are so dedicated to their craft, it pays tenfold, I find. And I think you did a very good job, Rajaram, when you cast people who are really, really professional and really they want to do good work.
Yeah, we're really lucky that way. For this role.
What were the challenges? Yeah, sorry.
sorry, no, and you know, there are scenes that kind of repeat, you know, throughout the film, and we shot the whole thing with one camera mostly because I couldn't afford to, and you know, but so they had to repeat scenes exactly how they did it like 3 days ago, and everybody did that.
Well,
yeah,
the thing is that you know, when you shoot with one camera, it's very good for the editor, I find, right, Jyotsna? I mean, it's easier, and also when you're telling a complex story like this, you know, with a lot of continuity issues, with a lot of, I think one camera setup is the way to go. Also, your camera work is beautiful, framing,
George,
excellent.
So
excellent.
I think the frame, George does everything else. You know, so I just decide to go wide or close or mid, and then he does everything else. We had a brilliant cinematographer, and you know, he actually he's doing a really big Indian movie right now, South Indian movie, like a pretty huge one, just because people knew him from this film. So kind of works out. It's nice. And his work is really good. We got some really old lenses from Serbia, and you know, the cinematographer and the focus puller flew down from Serbia for this. And
what are their names? Great. I'm sorry, I don't have them in front of me.
George Stojkovic was the cinematographer, and Miroslav Todorovic was the focus puller. And he was also like, I mean, we didn't really have perfectly assigned roles. He was the focus puller, first AC, general critic, you know, everything. Like, it was like the camera department, basically, 2 people.
I love the general critic part of that.
Yeah, they fight. They get into these random fights in Serbian in between, and we'll all be like, "Yeah, okay, you guys finish this."
They make the best movies. I'm on the jury for another film festival called Image and Nation and Montreal, and literally the Eastern European films were just winning. Like, they're just winning. They're just so powerful and superior, and the cinematography is unbelievable. So I think that tell me a little bit about the shoot. What were the other challenges, and what about the production design? I find you made the most of very little, and I really felt that your location was a character.
We didn't really have it was. I mean, we didn't really have a production designer or a producer. I had ADs, 2 of them, and so me, Jyotsna, 2 ADs, and the art director would just sit and just go over stuff like, okay, we're gonna do this way.
Was your AD also an actor?
Yeah. Well, second AD, yeah. He did a role, and you know, I mean, he's actually an actor. He ADs because he wants to learn how this thing works, and they've been so they've been they've been working with me for what 3-4 years now, and that's it. But that was all of the production design team. We kind of put up a per day, you know, like list of what all scenes we'd like to finish, and also because we were shooting with one camera, I want to make sure we got everything. So in the evening, Joe would like line up all of it and just basically do a rough cut of the scenes, and it was quite hectic to finish something like a full feature in 10 days. But wouldn't have happened though if everybody didn't know their parts, and you know, it kind of came together pretty okay, I think.
It was very exciting. Sorry,
go ahead.
We were all living in one house. Everyone stayed together.
Yeah, this big house and like
together.
Just rooms in the house.
It's a beautiful experience. Just really exciting. I mean, it didn't seem hectic because it happened in a very beautiful way, I think.
We had 16 people, including everybody. 8 actors. And then like
that's outstanding. And I think that the film is a family, right? It's a family that comes together to create a child that takes like years to give birth to. So I think it shows. I think it shows the love comes through. Now the film, its content, some of the actors I understand have not seen it, but it is a very layered story. It is talking about the isolation that we all feel, but also how we are all so divided, living in this divisive world, you know, and also it's discussing the North and South, and also discussing the haves and the have-nots. Somebody's going on the moon and somebody's like not having their basic needs met. I want to talk to you about your what was your what was really the kernel of the story. What was it that you were really trying to get through, and were you able to accomplish it in your opinion, or tell me about the writing of your film, because it's very moving.
I mean, for me, it was the haves and the have-nots. Yes, I didn't really, we didn't really think that we would go too much on the social, the division and all of that. I mean, we thought it would come out as the film played out, right? All Rani and her husband want is a way out of there and some money to solve their immediate problems, and all these guys are looking for something else entirely. But I didn't really
looking for a way out, right?
Right. Yes. Kind of. Hopefully not the audience, but yeah, kind of. But yeah, and we didn't really think too much into the social layering part of it. I just wanted to make sure that the story kind of came through without people going, okay, what was that? Just to do like it's non-linear, but just to make sure that it goes from start to end without getting confusing, if that makes sense. Like, it is a very simple, very small story, and just wanted to say it like in the best possible way with what we had.
No, I think that you were able to achieve a lot, from now even what I'm hearing. You even were producing it yourself. That's kind of really insane and intense.
In hindsight, okay, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, please,
that's all there was. I was thinking maybe not, it shouldn't have, but yeah.
So it's very good. You need to tell these stories that are sitting inside you, and you want to get them done. It's very courageous to make such a film. What are your hopes for your film now?
Well, I hope, I would want people to watch it. So hopefully we'll do a few more festivals, or some people would like it, and then eventually it would make its way to one of the platforms, I guess.
Do you think there's any chance of it getting a theatrical, for example, in India or anywhere?
I think we have just opened up theaters. I'm not sure what the exact scene is here with and as far as I know, there is like over the last 2 years there'd be like a long queue of films waiting to be released. So and even if it did, maybe only in the cities. I don't think this is like a nationwide release kind of a film in any way, So like a platform is perfect, something like that.
And what about what's happening for you all next?
Danny, Alex?
Well, I'm doing a TV show.
Danny's been killing it.
For Star Plus. The show is called Vidrohi, so I'm shooting for that at the moment. It's a year-long TV series which comes on Star Plus and streaming on Disney Hotstar. I have another film releasing next year, which I briefly mentioned to you, Arshad, with Adil Hussain, called Footprints on Water, which is my first international feature film. And currently, I'm pitching an own project of mine back in England. So the script is with the Literary Aid, and they're helping us show it to production companies over there. So a lot of stuff happening, fingers crossed.
So you're looking for a director for that project?
We're actually looking for a production company to take it on and to make it.
Okay. And you want to be the writer and actor in it, is it?
I'm acting in it, but my partner, he's written it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's written the script.
I see. Okay.
Just to jump in, Danny, fantastic, really beautiful film, which stars Danny in the lead role, as well as the late Tom Alter, called Out of Time, which is available in the US and maybe even in Canada as well. I'm not sure, Danny.
Yeah, it's available on. There's a new streaming platform called Topic, which you can access via Amazon Prime. I think that's what the director told me. But it's quite funny because that is one of the questions I asked Rajaram when I met him, because that's got to do with time loops as well. So when I met Rajaram, I was like, I've just done like a film a few years ago, which is quite similar. And then he narrated the story, and I said, okay, just the theme of it is the same, but the character and what I do is totally different, so it was fine. But do you remember that, Rajaram, when we spoke?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've done one kind of something similar already.
I just did a time travel film. I'm like, who did that? Like,
Danny's done all the time travel films done in India for the past.
Yeah, that's all that. Yeah, that's what
it. Too.
If you send us a link, we will share it on our social platforms so we can. Danny, let us know about that.
Yeah, I'll
Where
send
to go
you.
in.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Private link as well to it, to screen it as well. You can watch it. If you can't access topic there, I'll send you the private screening for it as well.
We don't
Very
talk
cool.
about that.
What I've
We
been
talk
up
about
to.
only paid platforms.
Oh, paid platform. Okay.
We talk about filmmakers making money and profiting from their work. We
See,
do not talk about any private links or downloads. None of that's going to go happen here.
Oh, okay, good. I was testing you only. Good, you passed the test. Oh, yeah.
That's good, Danny. That's good. Ivy legally downloaded your movie, so for my part, well, as we've discussed, I'm currently in Cape Town, doing some other things here. I'm an avid paraglider, a motorcycle rider, and now I'm pursuing my diving certification, my PADI license as well. But I'm rushing back.
I tried diving. It's hell. I panic. I tried diving. I went all the way into the sea with this whole diving instructor and everything. I just couldn't go down. It's so claustrophobic. No idea how you do it.
It's something that I think everyone panics when they go in for the first time. Honestly, everyone panics, but it's just like with paragliding, people think you're jumping off of a mountain and hoping. You're not actually. You're trusting the equipment, you're trusting your technique, you're trusting the glider and aerodynamics. So similarly with scuba diving, you're trusting that your regulator will work, that there's oxygen in your tank, that you can breathe underwater. So it is an adventure in trust, no doubt. But on the acting side, I'm heading back to India in the next few days.
Just like filmmaking, it's an adventure in trust.
Just like filmmaking, especially when you're producing it yourself, like someone. I'm not going to mention any names. So on the acting side, I'm coming back to India in a couple of days to continue work on another Amazon original, which I'm very excited about. I have another Amazon original that's releasing in December. As you've mentioned, Arshad, with the rise of OTT, with so many more things happening on the digital space, and as Rajaram rightly said, with so many films backed up because of the pandemic, a lot of stuff is finding its way to OTT, and I feel like a lot of people are making much more content for OTT now because we don't know what's happening with theaters. We don't know what's going to be able to release. But I am, just like Danny is, looking forward to release of a few of my films that are in the can and still waiting to find their way into theaters or OTT. Tanishta Chatterjee and I worked together on Dr. Rahmabai quite some time ago. That was the first time she and I worked together, so I'm hoping to see that release. Banarsi Jasoos, which is a beautiful film by Pankaj Parasha. And I just keep shooting and keep hoping that things are going to release. And also music. I'm releasing my next song and music video, my fourth single. The first two star myself and Shama Sikandar. Those are available on Alex O'Neill Music on YouTube and all streaming platforms worldwide, even in Canada. So please do check out Alex O'Neill Music. I'll be releasing my fourth single within the next month and a half or so. So a lot of cool, exciting stuff, but like everyone in this industry, we're all hoping that theaters stay open. Rajaram, in Mumbai, they just opened, I think. Actually, Danny, you would know better. On the 20th of November. When did theaters open?
Came out the Akshay Kumar film. They opened it with that.
Half capacity,
so
right?
Just recently opened, but everywhere in India has had different openings. For example, I just had Golan Dodge release in West Bengal. It's doing very, very well, and we were able to actually have our premiere in a theater. It was only 50% occupancy allowed. But it was really nice to be back in the theaters with the audience. And Golan Dodge, which is a football-based film, is doing exceptionally well. And I'm very, very happy to see that people are able to enjoy cinema the way it's meant to be enjoyed once again. And hopefully Rani 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 will have that opportunity. But at least people can see it on the big screen at your festival, and hopefully the people at MISAFF will enjoy it the way that Rajaram and Jyotsna have intended it to be seen. Because as you've rightly said, the setting, this abandoned factory, it is a character, and I love what Rajaram has done in the opening, especially. You just see that corrugated steel just kind of hanging and wagging in the wind, and the water droplets falling, and it really creates a beautiful ambiance, and it is indeed a character in the film, just as the sound is as well, the droplets, you hear the creaking of the steel. So hopefully people will get to see it on the big screen and enjoy it the way it should be enjoyed.
All your characters were like that piece of steel hanging, just barely hanging on. That's what I really connected with the film about, is the fact that this, there's so much more being said than, it really moved me.
And it's the kind of film, if I may, that I love this film because it keeps playing in your mind after. The film ends and you think, oh, what's happening next? It's not as if it just ends. Danny's character and mine, we're all sitting there waiting for Ronnie, who's never going to arrive, but the sister-in-law and the brother perhaps are going to, and you don't know where it's going to go from there. It's really quite an interesting way.
I know where it goes from there. I had a discussion with Rajaram off the board. He's making a sequel. So that's going to continue the story of Rani Rani. Chris. That's going to be the next part now.
It's a very good editing job. Jyotsna, what's next for you?
We're working on a short film anthology. It's just the beginning of. It's just in the ideating process as of now. It's Rajaram and me together. So Rajaram, do you want to talk about it?
I shouldn't say it. We thought we'll make. So there's another feature in talks, and these things kind of, since we are not producing it, it takes some time to get things going. And meanwhile, there were a couple of commercials. We are trying to do less commercials, more of feature work, and so that's going on. So in the meantime, we thought we have some time, and we'll do something. And then it kind of came up as, okay, let's do like proper sci-fi, like full on, just go crazy sci-fi. So we'll make like a bunch of really strange stories. And so wrote it. It's there. A lot of it is CG, so we'll kind of do it in the studio. But it's a bit crazy. It's too early to talk about it, though. I'm quite excited.
You should only talk about what you're comfortable with. Also, you're making good work. You're all doing so much excellent work. It's very exciting for audiences, consumers, film festivals like ours. And, I really wish you all the best luck. I thank you profusely for bringing your film to the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival, to MISAFF. And I want to thank you all for your time. We are going to follow your careers, and one day we will see you in Mississauga, hopefully. Thank you so much. I want to just quickly thank Rakshan for being our tech this morning. And I want to thank the Canadian Community Arts Initiative for presenting the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival 1st to 5th of December, online and also hybrid in person at the Tisdale Lightbox. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.